This is the blanket I was going to send for little buddy. Len, do you know you missed your final day with little buddy? Yeah. Are you sad? Yeah. Oh, I'm a little sad too.
And oop.
Okay. So, I lift, honey. I'm not sure if you know. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I'm really strong. I'm really buff. I lift weights. We have a gym here at our condominium complex. It's not much. It's like a gym out of a history book. But it has a couple machines, has a bunch of dumbbells, it has a bench, and that's all I need. Dumbbells and a bench.
You're a simple man.
Yeah, I'm very basic. And so I was going at around 5:30, 5:45 in the morning because no one's there. That's before work. And after work, it's really hard because I want to come home and you usually cook a lovely dinner. I want to see our cat. I want to catch up with Lennox and Luna. So early morning is when I like to go to the gym. So I was going 5:30, 5:45, depending on when I woke up. I don't set an alarm, okay? My alarm is right here.
You are one of those lucky people who has an internal clock.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people.
Yeah.
And I envy you.
Yeah. For a while, Luna was like, wake me up at 6:15, 6:30. She would vary the times. And then I would wake her up. And then she would go back to sleep. And I said, and I stopped. I stopped waking her up. And I said, there's no snooze on the Vince alarm. Okay?
Yeah, unfortunately, the kids take after me.
Yeah.
So we're sleepy in the morning, okay?
I never understood people who hit the snooze, bro.
It's just a biological thing, maybe. That's just the way we're wired.
Set the clock for when you need to wake up, the latest point in which you need to wake up, and then get your ass out of bed. Wake up, you sleepyhead. Haul your honey out of bed. Wake up.
Is that a Sesame Street rhyme?
Yes, sure. So I would go early morning, had it all to myself, and I don't do a lot at 20, 25 minutes tops. Come back, and then I get dressed, get ready for work in the morning. So out of the blue, if you're just joining us, you may remember Staj, young gentleman, high schooler.
Yes.
Now. And during the pandemic or COVID or whatever you want to call it, an old lady, a crazy old lady in our gym yelled at him to put on a mask. He needed to wear a mask in this small gym. And it was quite the sight to see. But I hadn't seen him for a year or two. So I'm there. I'm lifting early in the morning. Once a month, someone would be in there. But other than that, I had it all to myself. And then one morning, Staj started showing up.
The return of Staj.
Yeah, before me. So I was like, oh, this guy's dedicated. And I want him to lift. I want him to be buff. I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the old George H.W. Bush administration. Go physical fitness. I'm the physical fitness ambassador. I want people to lift. I want people to be strong. Just not as strong as me. Okay. And he is a high schooler. But so I start seeing him and he's there before me. I'm like, oh, wow, this guy gets in really early. So, but that's fine. So I'm like, well, I need to come in earlier. So I started coming in earlier. 5:15. And then after a few days, he adjusts and he comes in even earlier.
He has the same thought. Oh,
yeah.
I gotta get here earlier.
Yeah. So it became too much. So I stopped lifting because of a high schooler. Now, why? He violates several rules of the gym. First one. He occupies several machines at once. So he'll be on a machine and then he'll have his phone on another machine on the seat part. And then on another machine, he'll have his water bottle and gloves. I'm like, bro, that's 3 machines you're occupying at once.
And our gym has a little 3-shelf thing by the door where you can set all your personal belongings.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for this to be happening.
Right. So he's occupying 3 machines at once. It's like, okay, well, like cardinal rule, cardinal sin, bad. And then the second thing is that he uses the bench. So there's one bench in there. He uses the bench for dumbbell storage. Now, listen, you grab a pair of dumbbells, you put them on the floor. It's a pain in the ass to bend all the way down to get them.
It's like extra working out though, so it's good for you.
That's a good way to look at it. I should have told Staj about this. But he would have the bench, and he would have a pair of dumbbells, sometimes 2 pairs of dumbbells on the bench, so he wouldn't have to go down an extra foot to grab the dumbbells off the floor. But I need the bench. I love the bench. I like the bench. The bench is integral.
Yeah, you need it
to my fitness. So he's occupying the bench for storage. He's not using the bench. He's not doing dumbbell presses. He's not doing flies on them. He's putting dumbbells on the bench purely for storage, purely so he doesn't have to go down an extra foot to grab the dumbbells off the floor. And if he was by himself, different story, but he's not. I'm there.
Well, did you ever say, "Hey, can I use this bench?"
No. we don't talk.
Well, okay.
And then thirdly, so the gym has a radio in it, like piped in through the speakers.
You can't change the station.
Right.
It's 100% 96.1.
Yeah. Mix 96, which is adult contemporary,
80s, 90s, and today.
Yeah. It's a good mix. It's meant to appeal to everyone. Sometimes it's bussin'. Sometimes it slaps, but sometimes it's like,
It's always inoffensive, which is their goal.
Right. You want to appeal to most people as possible. But Staj, with his phone on one of these machines, occupying one of these machines, starts playing music from his phone.
And it doesn't matter whether or not the gym radio is on or off.
Yeah.
He'll play his music from his phone regardless.
Yeah. Loud. And it's Bollywood stuff. One day I walked in and I was listening to the RR soundtrack, which is fantastic, but I don't want to listen to that. I'd rather there be dead silence or Mix 96.
That's not your lifting jam.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. A little Maroon 5, a little Ed Sheeran, or a little more Maroon 5 or a little more Ed Sheeran, a.k.a. Mix 96 in Sacramento. So all these things. He's occupying 3 machines. He uses the bench as storage. And he's playing his own music. And after a few months, I was like, this is too much. I can't take it. It's not a comfortable, it's not a safe space, if you will. So I stopped lifting.
On one hand, I completely understand why you stopped lifting.
Yeah. At that particular time of day, yeah.
On the other hand, I feel like he's a young teenager.
Yeah.
He has no mentor.
Yeah.
He has no idea what he's doing, and you should maybe take him under your wing.
I should.
And lovingly teach him the gym etiquette.
Yeah, I should. I should teach him the gym mores.
But you decided not to go that route. You decided to avoid him completely.
Cower. to escape, to scram, to avoid all confrontation with the high schooler.
I get it. Anti-confrontation.
Yeah. So I started lifting. Well, I lift after work, and sometimes we were there today, 0 people. But sometimes I walk in there and there's 3 other people. It's like, oh, this is cramped quarters.
It gets really crowded when there's more than 2 people in there.
Yeah. But the other day, Staj was in there, and I got there first, and you were on your way.
Oh, and this was not his normal time. This was after work, like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I texted you and I said, get the frick over here. I used the F word, but this was a big deal because Staj was there, and so you came over from our condo to the gym, and he opened the door for you, honey. What did you see?
He opened I knocked on the door because we only have one little key to get in, and you were already inside. I expected you to open the door.
Yeah.
However, the door opens, and I'm eye level with Staj's bare chest.
Yeah.
And I was flummoxed. I didn't know what to say.
He was shirtless, topless, TOPLESS. I know. And I knew, well, I was doing my thing. And when you knocked, Staj walked over there and I was like, ooh, she's going to see all the goods, all the prize. You're going to get the $64,000 suitcase on Deal or No Deal. But it was something.
I was like, wow. Well, first of all, no one ever takes off their shirt in there.
Right.
But like, everyone's pretty modest. And then it was just funny because this is like, I mean, we've seen him grow.
Yeah.
You and I were there at the gym when he first started coming a few years ago. And now he's a gym rat, basically.
Yeah.
Now is he becoming a gym bro?
Yeah.
Like, no shirt.
Yeah.
Just disregard for anyone else's feelings.
Yeah.
And oop.
Yeah. So, well, one thing is that, so during COVID, when Gavin Newsom closed all the gyms because he's a moron. Anyways, I bought my own bench and I bought my own dumbbells so I could be in our garage lifting.
Yeah, you had no choice.
Yeah.
You had to keep lifting, honey.
Yeah, and I did that, and then magically everything reopened. So I had this bench and I had these dumbbells, and I thought, well, I'm going to take the bench to our gym, to our condo gym, because the more the merrier. There's only one bench in there. Now there's two. Yeah,
and also before we did that, we owned a pair of 8-pound dumbbells.
Yes.
And our condo gym had no 8-pound dumbbells.
Right.
So we took ours over there on a Sharpie. We wrote our name on it.
Yeah.
Just to claim it if we ever want it. But our 8-pound dumbbells have been there now for like 2 years.
Yeah, still there. And we've given those bands. The bands that.
We've anonymously contributed a lot of equipment.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Bands that make a dance. So I brought the bench over there. I threw it in your car. I drove over there. Okay, it's like 200 feet, but I didn't want to carry a bench 200 feet throughout our condominium complex. And I put it there and free to use. Who cares? We have 2 benches now, and it's a super small space, but very, very, I thought people could use this. And I used it often when Staj was occupying the bench with dumbbells as storage. I used my bench that was in the garage, and it's a rickety bench. I got it from Walmart for $50. My head would hang off the end, and every time I lay down on it, I was like, "This is gonna fall apart, or I'm gonna be on the ground, or whatever." But it was fine. It was sufficient. So it was there, living its best life, this bench, for a few months, and then it was gone. Disappeared. Vanished.
And oop.
So one day, we're there in the gym.
Yeah.
And your bench is pushed up against the wall, and I noticed it has a paper taped on top of it.
Yes.
Which reads, in all capital letters, "This bench is not up to code or standard."
This is not a commercial bench. All caps, bold font. And
if it's yours, please take it home.
Yeah. As if the bench is a human. Please take it back home. The note goes on to say, unfortunately, we cannot have it here due to insurance purposes. Okay. Lawyers ruining America, am I right? Sincerely, or it doesn't say sincerely, but at the very bottom it
with
just
love.
says, Riva on the River Board of Directors. And then that lasted for a couple days. Then we came back to the gym, and my bench disappeared, vanished, like freaking David Copperfield up in here. This note was on the corkboard, and then in pen, handwritten, the note goes on to say, if you are missing your bench, please contact Kathy Bailey. Gives her number. Signed, Kathy.
Ooh.
So when I first saw the note, I was like, whatever. Like, leave it be. I use it, okay? Stodge is out here operating 3 machines. Occupying 3 machines, Kathy.
Yeah, what are they doing about that?
Right. And then vamoosh.
The gym needs a lifeguard sitting on a high stool, like at a pool. Like, anytime Stodge puts a weight on a bench.
Yes.
Remove your weights from the bench, please.
Yeah. Some sort of officiating, some sort of referee. So it's been months, 2-3 months. It's still in, I assume, Kathy's garage.
Maybe she's donated it to Goodwill by now.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, some person downtrodden is using it. But it's not commercial. Who cares? Like, it works. It's fine. It doubled the amount of benches.
Our gym is really out of date.
Yeah.
All the equipment, I swear, you walk in there, it's like the 1980s.
Yeah. It's like the video with the fat guy who takes that medicine ball in slow motion.
It needs a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
So, how about that, Kathy?
Yeah. My bench was hurting nobody. I was using it. I'm sure people... I knew people were using it because it would be adjusted. It was an adjustable incline, flat, etc. And it would be at all angles whenever I walked in there. People were using it.
People were happy.
Right.
We brought joy to the gym.
Get out of here with your insurance purposes. So, if you're just joining us, our mail boxes, our community mailboxes, there's about 100, 125, are repeatedly broken into. And this is a problem plaguing West Sacramento and probably California, probably America. Thanks, Joe Biden. It's been an issue.
And oop.
So our HOA has asked us to become vigilantes and stand guard. And they posted this note. Normally I'm against reading letters and emails and notes because that's boring radio/podcasting. But I've edited this and I've read it myself, pre-read it, and I've took out anything boring. So the note reads, for the last 30 plus days, our mailboxes have been guarded by a small group of courageous Riva neighborhood members. Since this group began watching nightly, our boxes have been untouched. Ooh. We now need your help, all caps, exclamation point. We need 40 volunteers. What the hell? There's only a couple hundred people in our...
That's a small army.
Jeez Louise. We now need 40 volunteers who can volunteer... using the same word twice in a sentence. Really, Kathy Bailey?
Get a thesaurus.
We need 40 volunteers who can volunteer 1 or 2 hours per week, simply by parking in front of our mailboxes and serving as a deterrent only. No confrontation, no verbal or physical action, just a deterrent. So they just want us to stay in our car. What if we have to go to the bathroom? Can we leave the light on? Can
wear a diaper.
Like the crazy astronaut lady? What about our battery draining down?
Don't have your car running, honey. That's crazy.
So we're just supposed to sit there in the dark? This process sends a message to thieves that our neighborhood community is organized, united together, and watches out for each other. Except when one person wants to add a bench that's not of commercial grade. If they attempt to steal or vandalize, they will be seen, caught, and prosecuted. This is the message we want to send. We watch in shifts 6 days per week, excluding Sundays. The Lord's Day? They take Sunday off? Well, if I was a thief, I'd be like, oh, Sunday, let's get cracking.
Are the thieves taking Sunday off?
With enough volunteers, we can do this. Keep in mind, there are a number of quick and easy fixes. Blah, 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 blah. Are you a night owl? We can use your help. Please contact me, Tony Marine. Ooh, good last name. If you can help. So they want people at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. 6 days, like, what? Who's doing this? Why? I would never do this.
If I didn't have a job, I would absolutely do this. I would be out there in my car with my book and like a little headlamp on my forehead.
Yeah.
Just reading.
Yeah.
I'd have some Diet Coke.
Yeah.
It'd be a good time.
I would sit there with a bottle of Johnny Walker.
And a shotgun across your lap.
And a shotgun across my lap. I'd be on a rocking chair. Going back and forth. Back and forth. With a hat.
Oh, and like a hay straw out of your mouth.
Yes.
Chewing.
Yes. And then someone checking the mail at 2 a.m. First of all, red alert, red alert. Who the hell's shit? But if someone approached the mailboxes at 2 a.m., my head would be down and my hat would be covering my eyes. But then I would lift my head and I'd be like, proof of residence, senor? Which can be illustrated with a utility bill or driver's license or car registration. But I would do that.
Well, you should volunteer. You're needed.
I am.
These skills are needed.
I would, but she took my bench. Gosh dang it. Yeah. But anyways, 40 volunteers.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah, dude. There's only a couple hundred people here.
And say you only serve, say it's one person per night.
Yeah.
That's like every 6 weeks is your turn.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like very infrequent. So it's a lot of people. Why?
Well, like you said, I'm sure these people are retired, but the retired people aren't intimidating to male thieves. Ugh. But we haven't heard of any break-ins recently.
It's been quite a while. So, I mean, it's working.
Yeah.
This strategy, it's good. Keep it up.
You check our mail every day.
I do.
6 days a week or 7 days a week? 6.
Well, because Sunday, allegedly, we don't get any mail.
Proof of residence? Mr. Mail Thief? Alrighty. Well, are we done, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. We're done. Au revoir.